Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name's Isha and today I'm going to be going through the only books I've ever given 5 stars. I started reading properly in 2021. I feel like at the start I used to give lots of books 5 stars. But now it's very rare for me to give them 5 stars, although I did give a book 5 stars today, but that was the first one since summer last year. Let's get into the first book I ever gave 5 stars, and that was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm also going to be going through whether I still agree with them or what I'll give them now, but this is one of the books I think I'd actually give 5 stars now because it's historical fiction and very popular. It's about Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. Evelyn Hugo is basically an actress, she's famous, and it's set in Hollywood in the 50s to 80s, I think. Someone called Monique is interviewing Evelyn Hugo years later about her life in Hollywood and spotlight and stuff. I just love this book so much and I think everyone should read it, and yeah, that was my first 5-star read and I will still give it 5 stars to this day. The next 5-star read, which I've not got a physical copy of because I borrowed it off my cousin, It Ends With Us by Colin Heather, and you know what, I did enjoy the book while I read it, but I don't think I'll give it 5 stars now because I just don't think it's 5-star worthy. It's a romance book. People don't like Colin Heather's books romance because I feel very toxic. The main character works in a florist. Oh, pumpkin! Pumpkin getting in the way. It's she's reading from a diary, from when she was in high school and she was with this guy who was homeless. So you hear that love story and then a current love story now with Ryle. I actually, in English, you have to create a story for our GCSE in English language. Mine was actually based off It Ends With Us. And I got a 7 in English language, so must be good. Next book I read, which also I haven't got a physical copy of because I borrowed it off my cousin again, and that is The Invisible Life of Ada LaRue, Pumpkin. I read this at beginning of 2022. I just found it interesting and I think I would still give it 5 stars to this day. Basically it's about this girl, Ada LaRue. It's a historical fiction kind of fantasy. She made a deal with the devil. She lived in France somewhere, a small town, and she wanted to get out, so she made a deal with the devil for something. I think she said she could get out of the town and travel wherever she wants or something like that. But then whoever she meets, they always forget her, so nobody ever remembers her, and she's immortal. So she has to live her whole life going around everywhere, meeting people and forgetting the next time they see her. Some people do say they think it drags and it's very long, but I didn't feel like that. I enjoyed it. The next book I read, which I did borrow off my cousin, but I do have a physical copy of because she's still not read it. And I got this for her birthday and then I read it and she's never read it yet. But she gave it to me. 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is my first fantasy, proper fantasy. I don't really read many fantasies now. I think just the thought of fantasy books is just not appealing to me, but then sometimes when I actually read them I do enjoy them, but I just can't imagine before going into one that I will enjoy it. They don't interest me. I don't want to buy a fantasy book. I'd rather buy just a normal fiction book. This is about, it's a found family kind of thing, and it's set in the Grishaverse, and you can read Shadow and Bone series first, which you can get a better understanding of the Grishaverse, the world, because for the first 100 pages, I don't know if it's that much actually, but I do remember being a little bit confused because you're thrown into this whole new world, not really knowing any of the laws and rules, and you're just what is going on. I didn't read Shadow and Bone first, and I did end up giving the book 5 stars, so you can still read it without reading that. And it's a Netflix show. Well, Shadow and Bone is, I've not watched it. But they're in a prison. I think they're trying to get in a prison for something. I don't really remember the book. I just remember the characters like Kaz and whoever else it was. There was this one girl who could get around places really quietly. I feel like I'd even give this book 4 or 5 stars now because I don't really remember much of it, but I know I did enjoy it at the time. That's why I did give it 5 stars. I think it could be 4 or 5 stars now. And the next book, of course, Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is actually my book because I actually bought this one after reading 6 of Crows. I think people prefer this one, but I'm not quite sure which one I prefer, to be honest. This is just another challenge with the same characters, and you just kind of love the characters in this book, and you get to view from all the different perspectives. Now I think I actually really like this book, so I think I would still give them 5 stars. Pretty cover. Next book I read, next 5-star book, is Verity by Colin Hoover. Not the second Colin Hoover book. I actually did, like, this book shocked me, and I did really like this book, actually. It kept me on my toes, and, like, the ending was like, oh, it was good. I really, I did enjoy this book. It's a thriller, romance, kind of. It's basically about, there was this writer, and she has, like, a husband, but the writer, she can't speak, she's just in bed. I can't remember how she got injured. Oh, and the children died. But am I spoiling it? I don't think I am. The wife's injured, so the husband hires this other writer to finish a book in the best-selling series. So she's living at the house with the injured wife and the husband. The writer who's come to the house to finish the book finds an autobiography of the wife who's injured, and she's reading that, and then we obviously read it too, and it's just some shocking things. That's what I'm gonna say. Next book I gave 5 stars was Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. That's how you say it. This book has been to France, not with me. I think I still would give this book 5 stars. It's about the Marsh girl, and she's like kind of discriminated against for just being kind of a tramp. What people think she is. It's historical fiction. It's set in 1969. Someone's found dead, and she gets the blame and has to go to trial. And I know this author is problematic. I don't really know the story, but I also did watch the film in cinemas, and it was alright. It was pretty good. I think I do prefer the book. The next 5-star book was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and that I borrowed that off my cousin too. This is a Greek mythology book, and it's about Achilles and his lover Patroclus. I don't know how to say the name. Their kind of love story and the Trojan War. Patroclus gets sent away to live in the castle where Achilles lives, I think. I'm really bad at remembering these books, but I think most of you know The Song of Achilles anyway. I gave that book 5 stars, and I think I still will give it 5 stars. The next books I read was the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I gave every single one 5 stars. They were just very good murder mysteries. The first one was about a girl who went missing. Pretty sure it was a closed case, but then she just kind of like started investigating. Not sure why. Originally, Sal Singh was blamed. I really like that series. The second one was about a podcast she made, and the third one was about she got like targeted. I really like that series. Still would give them 5 stars, I think. Trying to say I still would give them 5 stars. I would give them 5 stars when I read them, obviously, because I put 5 stars in. But maybe if I read them now, I wouldn't. But I don't know. I know I really like them then, so I still agree that I'd give them 5 stars. The next book I read was One of Us is Lying. No, the next 5-star read was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I don't think I'll give this book 5 stars now. It's not as good as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and it was a murder mystery. It was good. I didn't guess the plot twist or whatever. 4 students got sent to detention, or maybe it's 5. 5 students got sent to detention, and then 1 ends up dying in that detention room. I'm trying to figure out who murdered this person. We go through each of their perspectives throughout the book, and he's trying to figure out who murdered Simon. And I've watched the series, and the series was okay, I guess. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't too bad either. I've also read One of Us is Next, and I gave that book 4 stars, which maybe I give 3 now. Or maybe 4, I don't know. It was an alright murder mystery. Pretty average. The next 5-star book I read was The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I think I still give this book 5 stars. Kind of like a coming of age kind of thing in high school. The main character, he makes friends, and obviously he's a wallflower. I just love that term, wallflower. And the whole title, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like the most thing I remember from this book is the song I was obsessed with, Asleep by the Smiths. I love that song so much. I have watched the film, and I love the film so much. I love that film. I get that film 4.5 stars too. So I actually watched it quite a while after I read it, which I think can be a good thing sometimes, because you're not like too focused on like if it follows the exact same plot, and like every single scene that's in the book is in the film, so you kind of forgotten all the little details, so then you can really enjoy the film. And now we're into 2023. Next 5-star read was the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. 5 books in one. Books 1 to 5 is in here. This is like, is it a thriller? It's about Lana. I remember her name's Lana because I'm obsessed with Lana, right? But Lana and Logan. So Lana is this serial killer who's killing all these people for revenge for something. We don't know why at the start, I think. And then Logan is in like an FBI kind of guy. He does that. She's out killing all these people, and then they in a relationship. They get in a relationship, but he doesn't know that she's the murderer he's trying to find and investigating. But yeah, and then like, is it gonna find out, you know? I really like this book. It's really just a nice, fun. Is it fun? But I just thought it was a good book, and I think I would still give it 5 stars. Right, the next book I read was... No, I keep saying that. The next 5-star book I read was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is a World War II novel set in France. There's two sisters, Isabel and can't remember the one, but they're very different. So this was kind of focused on what it was like for women during the war, because we know what the men were doing, they were fighting, but like what were the women doing at home. So this is kind of like about that and the difficulties they faced. I just really liked the book. I thought it was a very good book, so I would still give this 5 stars, and it's beautiful. Today I'm actually going to start All the Light We Cannot See, which they look very similar and about similar things too, because they're both World War II books set in Europe and they have like similar colours. So I decided to start this today. Still give this 5 stars. The next book I give 5 stars is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Look at this cover. I love this cover, and the American cover is horrible. Absolutely horrible. But this cover, I'm obsessed with this cover. And it's another historical fiction. I love historical fiction, as you can tell. I really enjoyed this book, and like I don't even know why. I just really enjoyed it. It's set in the 1960s, about a chemist. She's very not like other women, but like not in a bad way. She's just kind of like, obviously she's a chemist, so she don't just want to be like a housewife. So she like fighting for like, because she's treated unfairly like in the lab and stuff. So lots of things happen. She ends up hosting this television program called Supper at 6. That's why there's a telly there. And it's about cooking, but she like really incorporates like chemistry into it, and she like inspires lots of other women to do what they want. Last night I finished watching the show too, and I really loved the show too. I gave the show 4 stars. I just really love it. It's a really good book and a beautiful cover, of course. The next 5-star book I read was Eve Green by Susan Fletcher. I got this from my college library and I'd never heard of it before, and I just ended up loving it so much. Like, I think it was just really beautiful to read. I just highlighted so many parts of it and I just really loved it for some reason. It's about this young girl, I think her mum dies, I don't know where her dad is, but she lives in Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Then she moves to Wales to live with her grandparents, and they live on this farm near the sea. I think things happen from there. Like, it's kind of just like literary fiction, kind of not much happens. I really enjoyed it. The next book I gave 5 stars was Daisy Jones and the Six, which this was a reread last year, but I read it first. Where would it slot in this video? I think actually after Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid too. So I read it first then in 2021, and then I reread it last year, 2023. And I just love this book too. Another historical fiction set in the 70s. It's based on the band Fleetwood Mac, which I love. But this one's called Daisy Jones and the Six. It's just about the band and stuff. You know, at the start, like, they're now split up and we're going back through like interviews, and that's the only way it's written, just like in interview form, if you know what I mean. So basically, it's like a play, but not a play, but like the way it's written, so it'll be like Daisy, then it'll be what something she said in the interview, then it'll be like Karen, and then like stuff she said, and all. It's all written like that, which is just so cool, because like that's like a hard way to tell a story. Well, I think it would be anyway. And the story's told really well, and it's just really good. I did watch the show. The second time I read it, I watched the show alongside it at the same time as it, and wow, the show is so good. Again, the show 4.5 stars. It just blurs the line between like reality and fiction in a way, because I listen to the songs on Spotify now, so like they're like a real band to me. The next 5-star book I read was All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is a YA book, but I just loved it so much for some reason. Like I just really liked her. I thought it was so sweet and lovely. If you read it, you know that love was like a thing in it. It's just like a romance between these two people. They meet on the top of a bell tower, which actually inspired a painting. I'll show you the painting. I made this painting. Wait, why does it look all wonky? But I made this painting based on All the Bright Places, and like the scene where they both stood on the edge of the bell tower. I also really liked it to make a whole painting of it. I have got a YouTube video where I did a painting like vlog of this. I just loved it so much. Yeah, I thought it was so cute, so sweet, so lovely. And then the film, okay. And I didn't like the film, basically. I just really did not like that film. It was horrible. I just thought the film was really bad. It didn't do the book justice one single bit. I was still good that book 5 stars. And the final 5-star book. Okay, that book I read I finished reading it on the 24th of January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 24th of July. And I've not had a 5-star book since then. I don't think it's not because I've been reading bad books. It's just I've just not been given I've been really strict in my ratings, like Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, which I just realised in my last video I kept saying I love conversations with friends and I'm excited to watch the show because I've read the book, and can't believe I didn't realise it was a show. But I haven't read the book. I was thinking about Beautiful World, Where Are You, which I've read and I love that, and I think I gave that book 4 stars when I read it, but no, honestly I think I'll give it 5 stars now because I just really love that book. Like maybe Jazz by Toni Morrison. Like I've just read really good books, but I've just not been giving them 5 stars because I've just turned really strict. I do have conversations with friends now. This is from the library, so I do plan on reading this soon, although it does look like a summer book, so I would save it till the summer, but I've already got it now and I don't want to keep it too long because it's from the library. Anyway, yes, the book I finished today, which I gave 5 stars, was Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. In my review, I just said, what did I put? Love James Baldwin for this. A black man writing about gay white men in the 1950s or something like that. And, I just really like this. Giovanni's Room is set in Paris during the 50s. David, the main character, is an American man. That's like whose perspective we're in. And he has a fiancée called Hella, but she's off travelling Spain to try and she's trying to find herself, but trying to just like figure what she wants and stuff. David meets an Italian barman named Giovanni, hence the title. They have an affair. Obviously it's 1950s, so it's kind of like scandalous. We see their love story, and when David's fiancée returns, he just like kind of denies himself and goes off with her even though he loves Giovanni. Just an amazing book, and I think just because of when it was written too, it just makes it more powerful. It's just a iconic story, and the writing's absolutely beautiful too. But yeah, they're all the 5-star books I've ever read. Don't know how many it is, to be honest. I think I've read 71 books like when I've probably started reading, so I just think I've got quite a lot of 5 stars for that, but they are lessening as I'm getting stricter and more like knowing my tastes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment your 5-star reads down below, and hopefully I will see you next time.